we're on?
We are, and I'm trying to get the close-up angle in there. Okay, so we're close-up in there. I forgot how to do the close-up. Or wireless connection. Okay. Well, we're live on Twitter, if you want to
Hey,
say hello
guys.
to Twitter or Periscope.
Good morning. I am wearing a tank top in the middle of November. I think I start every single show this way, talking about how I'm not wearing sleeves yet, and we are nearing the end of the year. But I told you, 2016 is officially going down as the warmest, the hottest year on record. I read that. There was some, like, breaking news alert that came my way. So, let's all fall in line. But there's a easily 45-degree difference between where I'm sitting and 3 feet in front of me where Lance is sitting. He's wearing, how many layers are you wearing?
I'm wearing 3 and my goggles.
Literally, he's wearing 3 layers and I'm wearing a tank top.
I think it might be a sign that I'm not feeling well, but I'm not sure.
I don't know why. It's not like you don't get tons of rest and sleep and
Actually, Booba last night,
that's your 5-year-old daughter.
my 5-year-old daughter, I picked her up and I
dropped her.
I started driving her to my place. She fell asleep in the car. We got to my place. I carried her out of the car. I left the lights off, under a blanket, put her to sleep on the couch. 3 hours later, I went upstairs. She woke up at 6 this morning. She was asleep for
Wait, what time did you get home?
12 hours. Like, she slept for 12 straight hours.
The two of you, you're probably exhausted.
I went to sleep early last night.
What's early for you, Lance?
I went to sleep at 9:30, which for me is like...
That's pretty early.
Yeah.
Look, I'm the same way. I have all these great intentions. Well, as soon as I put the kids down, I'm going to get so much work done. Like, beyond so much. You're not even going to believe how much work I get done. And then I'm like, but I'm just going to eat something first. And while I eat, I want to watch the news. I watch nightly news. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to watch Jeopardy real quick because it's the end of the teen tournament. And then I'm going to get so much work done, you cannot believe it. Okay, so then I'm watching Jeopardy and I text Connor because you can't believe these kids. I swear, they're so smart. And did you watch it?
I have it recorded.
Oh, you didn't see it
Yeah,
yet?
I can see
There's one girl, and I love when this happens. You know, it's not so much knowing the answers as it is getting your timing down pat with the clicker. And some of these kids, they can't figure it out. And then they show you that they can't figure it out, right? So there's one girl at the end. Now, the seasoned veterans, even if they are teenagers, keep the clicker down where you can't see it. You know, agriculture. Let me get agriculture for 400. You know, where is this such and such and such? Yes, go. You didn't even see them click. But this one girl, not only was she going to let you know she was clicking, but she was going to let you know that her clicking was like all for naught because she never get called. So they'd be like, whatever it is, they would say, click, 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 click. She wouldn't get it. You have to go back and watch it. Every time. It must, and I finally called Steph in. I go, it's now 14 straight times. She didn't have one answer till literally the end of the first round. But she put her hand up in the air, like this. And then put her hand down. I was like, we get it. Clicker's not working for you. You don't have your timing down. What you want to do is get your timing down with that. But that thing went off. Second thing that drove me crazy, it's the teen tournament. So you'd like to think, no matter how difficult the categories are, you got yourself a shot. No longer a teen. I've got years of experience. One of the categories, there were like 8 boring categories and 1 amazing category. It was like agriculture, like Shakespeare quotes, like...
Agriculture was the exciting category?
No, wait till I get to it. 18th century literature, presidential nicknames, like cities. And then at the end, quarterbacks. I was so excited. Like, quarterbacks to a teen tournament? Why not just ask me to, like, name my middle name 15 times? So, what do you think happened?
What's your middle name again?
Anne. It was the last category picked. They preferred agriculture for 100 over the quarterbacks, and it was driving me nuts. And one girl was like, anything other than quarterbacks. And he's like, well, what category? I mean, it didn't really happen, but I nailed every single category in quarterbacks, got every single one. Now, that's not saying much since I did cover sports for 12 years, and this was the teen tournament. But I had to comment on the getting the clicker down. I'd like to believe that when they bring you on to try out for the show, they teach you how to use the clicker, because this girl literally almost had a stroke while she was trying to click the button. Anyway, so that being said, that was over. And then Steph is obsessed with like that Anthony Bourdain travel around, eat the food show, you know, Parts Unknown. And she lived in London for 12 years, so we went back and watched the London version of that. And I was like, after this, I am going to work like nobody's business. And then after that, there was this National Geographic special on what really happened to all those shipwrecks around Hawaii when the bombing at Pearl Harbor. There was some. Now we have this new information that perhaps we fired first and not the Japanese. So there's this new technology that can like make all the water disappear, and when it's a cool graphic, but it looks like it's absolutely real, and then you see what all these shipwrecks look like. So I was like, all right, well, as soon as that's done, there is no way that I am going right in there and I'm going to start working. 3 minutes into the shipwreck thing, which took me longer to explain than I was there sitting there watching, out cold on the couch. And once you fall asleep on the couch, like, and you get up, there's no work done. So I went to bed at like 10:15, got literally nothing done. But I did wake up at 4:30 this morning. I worked until 5:30, and then I worked out from 6 until 7. So I just punished myself. That's what I do.
How do you like the new thing that you can work 24 hours a day?
What do you mean?
Like in the old times, you didn't have like the ability to work 24 hours a day.
Have
you always been that way? Like you've always had?
I never had this much work before. I think when I worked at the Today Show, I wasn't nearly this busy. I went in for my set specific amount of hours. You know, you're usually told what to do, and then you leave and someone pays you. But now there are all these little things. Like for example, this morning I worked with a great organization. I'm on the board of this organization called WITS, Wellness in the Schools.
She was in the show.
She was on the show, Nancy Easton. They go around and they revamp kids' school menus. But in addition to doing that, because a lot of places do that, they also sort of revamp recess. So you're getting better recess and better lunches. Anyway, I went in. I was with the kindergartners today, and I had to do like 4 or 5 different mini workouts for the kindergarten class, which you're probably thinking is ridiculous, but it wasn't. It was actually great. I came up with this little like program that I put together. The problem was, the first kindergarten class I did, like I was all in, too much. After 10 minutes, I was dripping in sweat. I had done like 50 squat jumps, and I was doing like 1-hop balances and handstands with the kids, and I was like disgusting. The second class, I toned it down a little. And by the last class, I was basically just doing it like from my phone. I was like, guys, stand up, now sit down. But it was great, and it's really fun to see these young people and command their attention. And I really hope I can do that with Harper the same way I did it with these kids. So that was this morning. So basically, it's 11 o'clock, and I've been up for now almost 8 hours. I worked out, and then I went and did all this stuff, and then went to do the show, and then I'm training someone. And then I'm giving my big speech tomorrow. I'm hosting the TAG Awards tomorrow, so I have to write that tonight. And I'm only going to watch Jeopardy, and then Seinfeld, and then I'm definitely going to get to work tonight. Maybe the second Seinfeld, if it's a good one. But that's it. That's it. Is it Thursday? No, there's no football.
What's the best
tonight.
Seinfeld you saw this week?
This week, I really enjoyed the one where he's sleeping with the housekeeper. He's dating his housekeeper. And I like that one because on that specific episode, obviously Jerry Seinfeld, the actor, the person, not the character, had a cold. And they shot it anyway. Like, you never think about that. Like, what do actors do if they have a cold and you're on a shooting schedule? So,
well, we show up.
I know. Well, anyway, he shot it, and he was hoarse the whole time. And I love it. Like, there's one line where he's talking to Kramer, and Kramer's like, come pick me up, I'm at Ray's. And he's like, Ray's? Ray's Original? Or just regular Ray's? He's like, no, Original Ray's. But yet his voice was all out of whack, so it was, I don't know. That's why I liked it. Nuances. When you've seen these things so long, you could be like,
just look for the nuance.
He had a cold. And that's what Steve Hurt from Elias was talking about yesterday. You know, he saw these games live, but Steve is the only nerd, and he's a self-proclaimed nerd, that when he's home sick in bed and the rest of us like to watch like Mission Impossible or like an amazing live game, he goes back and watches like old Super Bowls, and he picks up on certain things. Yeah, that's that.
That's that. We had a good walk yesterday. That walk.
Wait, did you love the Underground? Come on.
I loved the. I was actually blown away that like
right?
I hadn't even heard about it. Like,
I know, it was so quiet, and anyone that comes in through Columbus Circle, which is like a real big subway hub here,
yeah,
which sprouts out to anything in Midtown, basically, if you're coming from the Upper West Side, It's right there. Everything you can imagine. We should do another walk sometime.
I think based on the way yesterday's walk went,
What does that mean? Did it go well?
it went really well.
Okay.
So I think that it'll be a regular part of our repertoire.
That's what the people want? That's what the people will get?
I think it was interesting. I mean, I was just a random one. Like I think we can plan it out and do well. It was interesting.
Well, I opt and vote for sunny day walks.
Yeah, the rainy day walk.
It's not so fun.
It was actually fun. I enjoyed it.
I like the saying hi to random people.
Yeah, saying hello and like have things. George gets his nickname by Kruger in the same Seinfeld episode that you were talking about. That was from Darren.
Oh, was that T-Bone? Hey, T-Bone. But they named him Coco?
There was that.
Oh, yeah,
one.
Coco. That's right. So George is desperate to be called T-Bone because it's a cool name. But instead, things go awry in the meeting and the boss calls him Coco. So he goes out and he finds a housekeeper named Coco and he brings her in to the meeting so that the boss knows that she's Coco. So two people can't be Coco.
Coco the monkey.
Yeah.
I'm just reading her. Okay, you ready to go to...
yeah, let's go say hi to some people.
Yeah, they actually, of course, they changed it on Facebook, so...
Which means what?
I'm trying to figure it out live as we do it. They actually seem to have come up with a better solution than...
I need to put some sunscreen here.
Do you want to go put it on?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It's right here. You can half watch me do it. Because I know someone's going to be like, Jenna, you are not wearing enough
Jenna's not got a sunscreen on.
Here. Sunscreen. I mean, I can't believe I'm like worried about sunscreen.
Big shout out to Neil for the close-up. The close-up seems to be looking
Is Neil
good.
watching? Or
I don't know if he's
big
watching,
shout-out?
but I just want to give him credit. Credit's due. It's not...
He likes to watch. He's going to watch to see if we listen to him.
Well, we did.
We did. All right. Got sunscreen on.
You just have to sit down in the exact same spot there.
I know. Here I go. How close
Darren
is
and John are watching, by the way.
Who? Darren and John?
Darren and John.
Hi, boys.
They think they're the #1 fans, but
Well, they are.
they,
Okay.
they
Am
are.
I in the same spot?
Yes.
Okay.
You're in almost the same spot. There they are. All right. Now they're
It's a little
fighting.
crooked.
Darren and John are fighting. Sherry Stretch is in that discussion there, boys. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Ams Madrigal says good morning.
Good morning, Ems.
This is just gonna be complicated. Carrie Wagner Messick wants to know, why won't you ever eat corn?
Who says I don't eat corn?
Manny wants me to say hello from Mike. Hi, Mike.
I wonder if I should do ice.
What are you hunting for?
What do you guys think? Iced latte or a regular latte?
But there's a 3-way tie for #1 fans, guys.
We're all
That's
having
according to Stretch.
conversation. I guess I'm gonna go
Go
with
with water, ice. Go with ice.
Iced it is. Iced almond milk latte. Thank you, Connor. Connor's the best. You guys want anything? Anyone
Anybody
out there
want
anything?
anything?
Connor's going.
Allie says ice.
Okay, thanks, Allie.
Um,
Why did someone say I don't eat corn? That's so random.
That was Carrie. I think because she's talking about on the diet. There's no corn on the diet.
But that's too random to just randomly ask one question like why you know eat corn.
Carrie, explain yourself.
How about as it relates
as-
to the diet?
As it
comma.
relates to the... Okay. Heather Dahl Decker says the sun is so warm today. Enjoy.
It is gorgeous out. I mean, gorgioso. This whole left side of my leg is actually hot. That's why I was thinking of putting this here. It's nice.
Okay. Cynthia X Conde Bender says, good morning, Jenna. Love seeing the sun out.
Yeah, it's beautiful, you guys. An absolute gorgeous day.
Okay. They've really made it difficult.
They made it difficult.
Yeah. It used to be so easy.
You know what you should do, Lance? Maybe. Why don't you? Can you read it off a different phone?
No, it's not do that.
Cool.
All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure out this new thing.
Why Facebook changed it a little bit?
They completely changed the interface. Yes.
The interface. You use the right terminology.
once in a while, even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
I don't buy into that for 1 second. You can only call yourself a blind squirrel.
I'm a
so
blind
long.
squirrel. I can't define a blind squirrel. Marvin Kirschenbaum says, "Good morning, Jenna, Lance, and Connor. Hope all is well. Seems nice out. I need to go to a walk for a
Hey
walk."
Marvin, I haven't heard from you in a while.
Margie Lucy says, "Good morning, Margie. I'm sorry. I get that wrong every time.
Every time.
Every time.
You're
Every
a slow
time I see
learner.
it, yeah. Good morning, everyone from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Love your show."
Thank you. Was that Marnie? No.
Margie.
Margie.
Steph McGee says, "Good morning, Jenna. I wish I could stay and watch, but have to get moved to fight my fight. You inspire me to keep moving forward." Okay. John from Cherry Hill says, "The camera's a little close today. Usually we see Jenna sitting on a couch, but this is fine." Yes, we had some professional...
Wait, how close is it?
You want to come... Well, here, it's very close.
Well, can you see my hand?
No.
Well, I think you should be able to see my hand.
Well, that
Before you
was...
saw my whole body, I think you should zoom out a little bit. You should see my hand.
Okay.
That's really close.
That was what I was told. Okay, well, zoomed out a little bit.
Look, I'm not going to be able to sit here because I dumped all this water here by mistake. Do you see it?
You guys like this better? Okay, well, I tried to do what Neil said. All right, they like it better this way.
Who? One person?
There was, no, Darren, John, Sherry, they all seem to be, I'm getting a lot of betters here.
Okay.
I'm going to leave this one here. Mainly because I don't know how to change it. John says, 60-year-old trainer just turned 60. The old fart trainer says hi.
Hi, John. No such thing as an old fart if you don't feel that way.
Heather Alex Pavuchek says, "Jenna, how do you tone under your arms?"
How do you tone?
And she has a follow-up: best way to tone your thighs.
Is that a question?
Yes.
How do you tone under your arms? Those are your triceps. Hi. Obviously Connor left. Come on in, have a seat, stay a while. We'll talk about that. We can get into that. I can give you some exercises. But I always say this: you can't spot exercise. And you can't
John figured out. He
spot
says
it.
you do your thighs by walking.
You can't specifically say I'm going to lose weight in this area with the following 4 exercises. I don't know how many other ways of English I can possibly say that. There's no such thing as spot exercising. You can lose weight and tone up in general areas. That you can definitely do, and I can give you exercises for that.
Cool. Darren says under the underarms you can do by throwing rocks at pigeons on a building. He saw us walking yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Obviously. Bar Best Right says, "We have a fresh juice company here that can order fresh juice cleanses for like 3 days, cold pressed, organic, etc. Is this a good thing to do? Strictly juices for 3 days?"
Nothing is a good thing to do if you're just doing one thing, ever. You need to make sure when you do strict juices, you don't get enough fiber, you don't get enough fat, you don't get enough of a lot of nutrients that you actually really need.
John is pointing out that they used to have the elastic band waist shaker thing in the 1930s.
I know, right? John, how old are you?
I think John's probably seen that on... It's actually interesting. One of my friends actually posted like that workout thing on their...
Where you stand on the machine and it tickles you?
Tonya Markham Bukima says, "Do you have any pets?"
Nope.
All right, easy answer.
Not my thing.
Sarah Dunsapolsky says, "Good morning.
Hey, Sarah.
Just signed up for my first TRX session. Super excited." What is TRX?
TRX is a system of bands and pulleys, and you use your own body weight for it. It's good. I would also combine that with some cardio, but it's great. And if you're excited about it, that's honestly all I care about.
There's some discussion here about Mandelbaum from Seinfeld.
Mandelbaum.
What is Mandelbaum?
So Mandelbaum was Lloyd Bridges. God, I know way too much about this. If I could just somehow harness all the information I have about Seinfeld and put it to, say, the situation in the Middle East, or
I was going to say the Jenna Wolfe Show.
or say this show. If there's something else I could do with the wealth of information I have for useless Seinfeld trivia. So Lloyd Bridges was on the show, and he plays Was he the Mandelbaum coach? He was the coach, or it was his father and his son, and he was training Jerry because Jerry's parents thought he had gained a little bit too much weight, so they hired a 75-year-old trainer for him, basically. And there's a great scene at the end with the three of them, the father, the son, and the grandfather. I mean, one's 70, one's 80, one's 110. They're all sitting in a hospital room, and none of them can move the TV because it's too heavy, and they're fighting and fighting and fighting. And Jerry said, "Oh, forget it." And he walks over, and with one hand, he basically picks up the TV and moves it and walks out. That's it.
Got it.
Way too much information. Way too much.
Jan Meyer says, Jenna, tape your show in Southern California once.
I might as well be in Southern California. I literally am getting third-degree burns sitting
played
here.
Hoodie that day. Or Hooky, I guess. Hoodie.
We'll come out there.
Scott Halwarder says hello.
Hi, Scott.
Jan Meyer says go for the ice latte.
Okay.
Heather Alex Pavuchek says help with the exercise with the thighs. That's what we just did, right? Green tea. That's what she's saying.
Sure. Walking is also great.
Nancy Foxmore says life sure is interesting with kids, and doing work at the end of the day is always great theory. A great theory. My wife and I have triplets, and even though they are 12, still different challenges.
I mean, honestly.
Can you imagine triplets?
No. Steph and I can barely handle doublets. We don't even have doublets.
John has twins.
Awesome, John.
And he said that was hard.
It's all hard. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. It doesn't matter.
Yourself.
It's hard. You're raising a human. It doesn't matter. It's really, really hard. You have to influence them and teach them and be examples and guide them. That's so much. I didn't read the manual before I had the baby. I just watched a couple episodes of Family Ties and thought it looked cool to have kids. It's really hard.
Sherry Stretch says she's a twin.
Hey, you know what I read? That there are some networks that are bringing the Cosby Show back. Remember I told you I used to love the first and second episode, but they wiped it clean because of Bill? What do you think about that?
It was a good show.
Not about the show, about bringing it back.
Why
it was
not
a
bring it back?
groundbreaking show. It was an African-American family in the early 80s where the father was a doctor and the mother was a lawyer, and I think
you think because of what? It was actually interesting. Kathy Griffin. She was on the Howard Stern show yesterday, and she was talking about her interaction with Woody Allen, and Woody Allen was saying that he felt bad for Cosby, that he's going to get railroaded.
Oh, you know how black that kettle is?
Okay, Jen Myers is saying they feed corn to pigs to fatten them up, and she wants us to come to Louisiana.
Okay.
She wants to know what Lance looks like, so please show us. We want to keep the viewership high. Joey and Lori say hi and can't wait for the girls to come to camp. You with that on that one?
I don't know anything about that. Joey and
Lori say hi and can't wait till the girls come to camp. I don't know.
Okay.
Heather Alex Pavuchik says she's married 15 years on Thursday and she's going to take a hike.
Okay. Nice. Today is share things that you want to say day. I kind of like it. Just if anything pops into your head, just make sure you say it.
John says Keisha Knight Pulliam was the cutest kid on TV.
Yep. She was adorable. She played Rudy.
Right.
Again, too much information about something that it's really not that important. Like the first 3 seasons of The Cosby Show. Why do I know so much about it?
In what sense is this a show? How does it differ from a regular Periscope?
Doesn't.
It doesn't. It's the exact same thing.
Literally the same exact same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Neil Cohn says that is a nicely framed shot, kids.
Yeah, Neil Cohen. Neil's an agent, and he
has the camera background.
And he recommended tightening up the show. Thank you, Neil.
I don't know what they're doing here. Marvin Kirschenbaum says he apologizes. His job is really getting in the way.
It's okay, Neil. I say Marv, I say you quit and sit around and watch this all day.
Marvin then followed up, in my office someone brought in rolls and bagels along with homemade butter. They are trying to get me to eat it. No carbs, damn it.
There's a thing called there's this pressure that people that are dieting, other people try to get you to eat things.
I know. I was on this diet and somebody got me to eat peanuts.
We have 3 more days left. 3 or 4. 3 or 4 more days left.
Who's counting? I literally last night when I got home I had 2 steaks.
I know.
I had 2 steaks, 8 potatoes.
Almost done. You're almost done.
No, I'm not even hungry anymore.
I'm really impressed. You did 25 days on this Fakakta diet. I'm very impressed with you. How much weight did you lose?
I've lost like 3 pounds.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, I've kept like I ate so many grapes yesterday. It wasn't fun. Bar Best Right says we need to do a field trip down to Chelsea Market sometime. It's
Yeah,
cool
we
area.
could.
Yeah, we should go there, and then we should do the High Line and go to the Whitney Museum.
I'm happy to do all of that. And we'll start wrapping this up because Courtney's here.
Okay.
But we can do a couple more.
Mandy Sue says, love your brutal honesty, Jenna. Appreciate it, and that you're willing to share your knowledge and experience.
Thank you very
Michelle
much.
Sausher says, hi, beautiful. Miss you. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Michelle.
Nancy Foxmore says, guiding kids to be good people is a tough job, and you are correct, Jenna. No matter how many kids you have, it is a tough job. Not for the faint of heart. As for the manual on parenting, if there was one.
There is no manual on parenting.
All right. Do you want to
Sadly. Should we stop and talk to Courtney and
Yeah.
reset? Or is there a lot more?
There's just a few more from this one. Joanna D. Phillips says, hi, Jen. I just walked 2 miles. Frustrated as I wanted to do more. Can I ask your thoughts on meal replacement drinks?
So let me ask you a question. With the meal replacement drinks, would you rather eat or would you rather drink? Like, most of us feel more satisfied when they eat than when they drink, calorie for calorie. I always find that I would rather chew my calories than swallow them. It lasts longer, the drink's over, and then you're done. And also, you can't do meal replacement shakes for the rest of your life. So why not teach your body to do something that you could do for the rest of your life, so that when you come off your meal replacement shakes, you're able to just sort of, carry on with it, which is hard to do when you're doing that. But if you eat real food and get the same calories and nutrients, then you're in much better shape. As you can see, I'm all about not changing your life, just making your regimen
Incremental changes.
a little bit better and easier. That's the whole thing. That's how you create sustainability.
Daphne says, hi, Jenna, happy Wednesday. Joey Laurie Waldman
Thank
says,
you.
see you in the city all the time and say hi. I have a summer camp where you did Warrior Dash, then you did Spartan. She was the one who was talking about the kids.
Yes, that's right. Well, I'm looking for somewhere to send my 3-year-old this year. So if anyone's got a good summer camp, we were going to send them to this one place. I will not name names. It looked great. I was all excited about it. I went online to early register because you can't just send your kid there. You have to get into a lottery. So I'm like, for the camp, we have to get into a lottery for the thing. So I was like, you know what? Fine, that's their rule. We'll get into the lottery, Steph. I tell Steph. I go online and I just happen to look over at the price. It's like $6,000. She's 3. Can she spell her name? No, she can't even spell her name. She can barely touch her toes. I'm not sending her to a $6,000 camp. Is anyone else appalled? That's insanity. Whoa. Is it on me?
We have a close-up. We have a close-up of the bee now because.
I know. Get it off.
But it was landing on your finger.
It was because the bee was more appalled than you guys were. You were like,
I didn't
great.
see the bee.
That's lovely.
I didn't see the bee. I don't have my glasses on.
It's still by me? Still? Not good at holding tight.
Marvin says he'll meet us at
Still?
Chelsea Market.
Oh, God.
Alright, it's gone.
All right. We're not going to catch up. So let's bring Courtney on.
Oh, bee by you.
Oh, good. I'm allergic. And my EpiPen is in Long Island. Don't worry.
Why don't you bring your EpiPen? I don't know.
Because I don't have a brain. Have you not met me?
I know. All right, we'll take a break. We're going to be right back. How are you? Hi. It's so nice.